TYT Sports here. It's Ben Mankiewicz and Jason Rubin as we continue to discuss the NBA. And we were talking about how bad the Lakers were in the previous segment. And, we're 5 games in. We don't know a lot. We don't know if the Spurs have really slowed down. We don't know whether they'll be fine at the end of the year. I suspect they will be. The Rockets look good. The Heat look surprisingly good. There's fun stuff like the Wizards Bullets at 4-1. Just some fresh faces early on that look pretty good. But who doesn't look good are the Cleveland Cavaliers.
No.
And I was here on election night at this desk Tuesday night, and I was just looking around and noticed that the Cavs trailed the Jazz 93-89 with 2:57 to play. And I thought, wow, this is another game that the Cavs aren't winning. And then I looked at the stats, and they were staggering. At that point in the game, with 3 minutes to play and 89 points on the board, and everybody playing, we had Love and James and Irving in the lineup, all playing 35 minutes.
Yep.
They had 4 assists. The Cavs had 4 assists, and Kyrie Irving had, at that point, played 41 minutes. He had 32 points. He had no assists. No assists. In the previous segment on the Lakers, we mentioned Nick Young. Those are Nick Young numbers, except for the 32 points. Nick Young, when he was in Washington, would routinely go 38 minutes, take 29 shots, hit either 9 or on another game 17, right?
Yep.
And put up 32 or 13. And have no assists and no rebounds. He's 6'8".
You're right.
Like, just once run down, it'll come to you. Just grab it. Yeah.
On the off chance. Kyrie, it's not just that minutes that he played. He's gone 6 straight quarters without recording an assist.
So he didn't get an assist the rest of the game.
He has taken 33, I know it's 30 plus shots.
Yeah, he was 11
since
for
his last
21.
assist.
He had 32 points in that game at that point, so he was 11 of 21, so very effective shooting. But again, no assist is amazing, and it's got LeBron James and Kevin Love.
Right.
I mean, and the new rules of the NBA of the assist is pass it around the horn, head fake, 1 dribble, stop, shoot. Your assist. Your assist. It's amazing. Yeah.
So the question I have for you, Ben, because I know you're a betting man. Cavs over under 20 wins by the halfway point of the season.
Will they be 20 and 21?
Over under 20 total wins by the halfway point.
Halfway point is 41 games, 20 and 21.
Okay.
So that would be under 500 at the halfway point.
Correct. I got you. Okay.
So I would unquestionably take the over.
Okay. Second half of the season, over under 30 wins. So
30?
30.
So they get it together and win 3 out of every 4 games?
Yeah.
No, under.
Under. So they're not a 50 win.
You want to make those? No, I think they're definitely.
No, I think
55.
I
think they're looking at 24 and 17, and then 28 and 13.
Interesting. I would take the over on the 30 wins in the second half of the season.
That one's a harder bet. I think they'll easily.
Because I think they click. I think they gel at that point. And again, we're watching the 2010 Miami Heat right now with just different players and different pieces. It's the same problem. And I don't even want to consider it a problem that the Heat had. The Heat still made the championship in 2010.
What's interesting?
They didn't win. They made the finals in 2010.
What's interesting for the Cavs is there value for them, and I don't know what their cap space situation is at all, but is there value for them in making a deal for like Rondo? Like
a pure point guard, yeah.
Yeah, and then you move Irving to, the 2, and he can obviously handle the ball still, and then you have, does that, or is there a lesser, I say Rondo because he's an elite point guard who the Celtics at various points have been willing to move. And do the Cavs have the resources that the Celtics would be interested in for a player of Rondo's caliber? Or are there just other real point guards available that would allow them to see Irving differently? Because at the end of that game with 6 assists, right? You can't, that just shows that's a tremendous failure of ball distribution.
It's really bad. I think we have 2 graphics, one from Basketball Reference and I think one about Kyrie Irving, or at least the Cavs in recording and assists. There's the first one, which is saying the Cavs had assists on only 6 of their 30 field goals Wednesday, the lowest assist percentage by a LeBron James team in his career, which is interesting. 20% is atrocious. And then go to the next graphic, Mike, if you don't mind. Which is kind of harder to see, but I highlighted. I like the per one. I'm a stats guy. I like the per 100 possession numbers on BasketballReference.com, and This is your per 100 possessions, the assists, and Kyrie Irving at 5.1 per 100 possessions. Granted, this is only on a 4-game scale, but to make like comparatively here, Manu Ginobili per 100 possessions gets about 10 assists.
Is that right?
Tony Parker is at about 11 assists. I'm sure Steve Nash in his prime was at 200 assists per 100 possessions. Obviously, it's an exaggeration, but that's a problem. Kyrie
God, they
Irving,
need to play Alex Kirk more.
right. And again, the only problem with this specific graphic is that it's on a 4-game scale, and there's a chance that some of these guys don't even have 100 possessions yet. So it's either
Yeah,
scale
of
up or
course.
scale
Alex
down.
Kirk has played 1 game.
It's just the specifics of when you look at the teams that are very successful in the NBA. The San Antonio Spurs coming off their championship year this year and last year, almost identical per 100 possession numbers, which tells a lot about a team's ball distribution. And why do the Spurs, what is the one major factor the Spurs beat the Heat in the finals last year? They move the ball.
Yeah, so, but as LeBron James said in a tweet, relax.
He's quoting Aaron Rodgers.
He's quoting Aaron Rodgers, right?
So does that mean he's going to come out and
Yeah, let's
score
see that
80
tweet, 'cause
points?
it's a good one.
It's a great, I thought that was a
graphic
great
15
tweet.
there. In the words of the great Aaron Rodgers, 12, relax. And he's right, they should.
Yes.
We all should. It's just, it is noteworthy. I don't say it as a sign that the Cavs are bad or they can't figure it out. I say it as a sign of they had 6 assists and they had 4 assists in the first 45 minutes of that game. It's nuts. It's a crazy number. But then look at some of the percentages. Go back to that graphic 12 real quick. If you can see some of the percentages there, we highlighted the assists, but the shooting percentages of these guys. LeBron's at 41%, Irving's at 40. The guys he's looking to give the ball to are LeBron at 41, Kevin Love at 36, Deion Waiters at 32. Like the shooters on this team, the scorers on the team are shooting very poorly. Those numbers for all those guys will obviously come up. LeBron.
And it will change. It will, absolutely. And the Cavs are going to be okay. Like
But the Cavs are going to be okay. But then let's go overboard then. Yeah, the Cavs will be okay. But are there groups of 3 elite players who don't work well together? Yes, it happens. Yeah. And is it possible that these guys are not the right 3 guys to put together?
Yes, it is possible.
Yes, that's possible, and that will be. I doubt it.
Fortunately, they play in the East.
Yeah, they play right. They play in the East, and one of them is a guy who it appears to me, just like Michael Jordan, eventually makes everybody around him better. So even if they're not right, LeBron will, by the sheer vastness of his basketball intellect, figure out a way to make them work well together.